What's up, internet? My name's Ori. Welcome back to the channel. It is Wednesday, July 31st, day number 16 inside the Big Brother house. Hurricane Angela was spinning up once again. I think I also have confirmation officially on why the feeds were being cut a lot in regards to her. Kimo also confirmed Quinn's powers to somebody else, plus a recap of all the current alliances and deals, all that and so much more from yesterday's live feeds. But first, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. Let's go over what happened yesterday on the feeds. Angela was kind of on a mission from the start of the day to cause some more chaos after calling Quinn out about his powers last night to Tucker, which multiple people overheard. Nobody was really believing her, though, which is pretty funny. She's gotten to the point where they just don't even pay attention to what she's saying. She mocked Lisa as she walked by, kind of doing like a little strut, kind of pretending to be her as she walked by, even apparently called her a twit. And Lisa didn't engage, right? She just kind of let it happen. And she did talk to others like Brooklyn and Robina kind of about how she felt. But she understands why like nobody else is really saying anything or standing up for her, because she understands like it's a game and she doesn't feel like she's, doesn't have support there. But she understands why nobody's really saying anything, even though others are like, I almost want to, but she's like, I get why. I get it. Angela then later confronted Tucker once again in the shower. This was one of the most interesting ones, because not only was it just kind of funny watching Angela have this big not really argument, but just like, you see what you're doing's wrong, you're not seeing the bigger picture. And he's like, I think I am. You're the one. While he's in the shower. But pretty much she was saying like, you can't trust Quinn, like he's, up to no good, and you're really good at this game, Tucker. Like I saw what you were doing. I could hear through doors. And he's like, you're the one who's messing this all up on your own. Tucker's like, you, Angela, are the one who didn't trust me. We had like an actual connection. You just didn't trust me, and now you're the one causing all this drama. Now, the feeds cut during this conversation, but when they cut, they just went to like the workout room, which is right next to the bathroom. And because that room is so echoey, we still could kind of hear Tucker talking. And this is where I was able to pick up on why, like full on confirmation. It's something I speculated about, but with these situations, I hate to speculate and even throw these out there as options, because just it's no fun. Who wants to even actually talk about this? But it's something I speculated that might have been a thing. But also, in a weird way, once I explain this to you, I think you're going to understand why it's also odd. So, because I think, again, like Tucker was saying, I think it's all self-imposed. Basically, what I was able to gather, because I heard Tucker say, I wasn't there. I don't know why you're apologizing. I don't know why you're saying you're not racist. And I believe what happened was she told Quinn, like, oh, that's the group over there. I don't know if she just meant Chelsea, Cam, Cedric, or if she also meant T-Core as well as part of that group. Or if maybe one of the core wasn't there and T-Core was there and it was a 3-person thing. She was saying that's a group over there. I don't 100% know all those details. All I know is she was pointing out a group to Quinn that happened to all be the same race. Now, what makes this completely different than any other situation we've had, especially the Kyle situation, on one hand, Kyle had no basis, no evidence at all. There was nothing for him to even go off of to be like, oh yeah, they're a group, other than just his internal, biases that he had. Here, technically, Angela is just being paranoid as well, but also she is pointing out groups, right? Like she pointed out the MJ, Leah, and Matt group, and nobody said a thing about that one either. Just because she's pointing out a group that is hanging out, is talking together, and as we know, has aligned with each other, doesn't mean anything. The other part is I don't think anyone other than herself is saying this. The if I'm picking all of this up correctly, I think she went to Quinn, was like, "How could you say that I was saying they were a group? You're making me out to be this way. You're making me look like a racist." But I don't think anybody actually said that to her. Like, I don't think anybody said, "Angela, that's kind of messed up that you can't say that." I think it's a self-imposed thing, which again makes it even kind of more of a complicated issue because it's like, what why are you even bringing this up? You're doing this again to yourself. You're the one shooting yourself in the foot. I think that's what this is all about, not just her chaotic nature. Plus, the way it is right now, I think if people actually thought that about her, if she wasn't the one throwing it out there like this, they wouldn't be contemplating keeping her. And I think actually she will stay this week. And they're just going to go, all right, we'll just wait until next week and we'll get her out that way. Lisa's the bigger threat because she's more likely to win competitions. And if she doesn't win the AI arena, it seems like Lisa will be the one to go. But I think that really confirms at least why the Quinn argument was not shown to us. As far as the Lisa argument, that one stems even further back. I think with that one, it was something just really nasty names that were being thrown around, either by Lisa and Angela or just by Angela, which is at this point probably more likely. And I think that's why we weren't seeing those ones. I think it got a little nasty, a little personal. I don't think they should have cut those ones, but again, like we talked about in my update the other day, I understand why Big Brother is so trepidatious with showing this stuff, especially with how some fans take things to the far extremes instead of letting us be able to have an actual conversation about it. And maybe even be able to learn and grow. I always look back to Big Brother 2 with the relationship of Kent and Bunky and how it started out as a very toxic thing, but ended up becoming such a beautiful friendship in the end. And if that happened in today's day and age, we probably never would have saw any of that journey at all. All of a sudden, Kent and Bunky is just like, oh yeah, they're friends now. That's weird. And that would have been it. So it's stuff like that where I feel like I understand why they're not showing it, but also I wish we still got to see that stuff because it's part of the game at the end of the day. And it almost feels worse when you hide it because it makes people spin with even crazier narratives of what's going on. But I think after hearing that part from Tucker, I think we can confirm 100% that was the case. I thought that's what it probably was. It seemed like that's what it was. But again, I hate to speculate without like hard evidence in these situations and just with no flashback, no rewind. It's been very hard to confirm a lot of these things on our own. Plus, with the feeds being cut as much as we did, information was so little that it was hard to actually understand exactly what was going on with the situation without actually seeing it. Other than that, it was actually a pretty chill day. Little bit game chats here and there, nothing too crazy or breakthrough. Continued talk about that group that was thrown out last night with Quinn, Rubina, TK, Kimo, Tucker. Did I mention Quinn? It's kind of like a 5-person deal that they're trying to put together. There was talk about adding others like Kenny, but they're not 100% sure with how close he is with people like MJ, people like Leah. Even they're not 100% sure like where her allegiance lies. Brooklyn and Chelsea and Joseph were also considered, but again, they want to keep it small. They think 6 to 8 was too many. That was actually something thrown about by Tucker, and I think it's actually a smart move. Quinn had mentioned Joseph's still way too invested in the collective, which at this point, let it die, bro. Like just let that one die. That one's not coming back. Chelsea, I don't think would be a good person to add for them because she's so connected with the core. That would kind of expose it. Brooklyn, I think, is actually pretty committed to the Pentagon, even though she understands that her and Quinn are at the bottom of that one. I think she still feels good about that 5. And that really comes with the conversation that I heard with her and Quinn kind of late at night where they talked about, yeah, Lisa's going to be going this week. We'll do Angela next week. Quinn actually wants to be the one to do it. He's like, I want to win it so bad. He was even joking. This is actually pretty funny, where he was saying that uh he, he said that, yeah, Matt's mom did a really bad job of raising me too. Which I thought that was pretty good. So he wants to be the one to do that. But yeah, I think from that conversation, she said, I feel really good about our five. So Brooklyn, it seems like, is a little bit more bought in on the Pentagon, at least with Quinn, and trying to look out for each other on that end. Again, I just can see her very easily switching sides, going with wherever the power is. I think actually Brooklyn's in a pretty good spot right now as far as being like a swing vote and being a swing number for a lot of people. I feel like she's kind of dead in the middle of the house, in a really pretty good spot. Speaking of, I guess that kind of really wraps it up. There wasn't too much more except Kimo. Kimo went and fully blew up Quinn's power to Tucker. So it's not really blowing him up. They're in an alliance now, but he confirmed it to Tucker. So Tucker and him were in the back room. TK was coming in and out a lot too in that conversation. But while she was gone, Tucker was saying, like, and we got to be careful with Quinn. Like, Angela was saying he had the power. I don't really know, but he's really smart as well if he did have it. And Kimo goes, listen, I'm only telling you. Angela was right. He has the power. It's exactly what she said it was too. Like, I didn't want to say anything, but yes, what she said is all true. So pretty much filling in Tucker, Kimo building another bond there. Again, and honestly, Kimo's another one who I feel like is in such a good spot in this game because he makes such good bonds with people, gives them information that, hey, look, it's out there anyway. If I tell Tucker now, Quinn's just going to think he believes Angela, and that's all. And oh well. So Kimo's doing a really good job in this game of gathering information, creating really good bonds, emotional bonds with people. Kimo's somebody who's really impressing me, and if he ends up being someone who can win competitions late in the game, we saw him win the AI arena. He was going against Matt and Kenny, so who knows how, right? The competition there, But if Kimo can win competitions late in this game with the bonds that he's made, I could see him going really far right now. And going into the game, didn't have that many expectations for Kimo. I thought, you know what? Maybe he's somebody who's thrown up on the pawn, as a pawn a lot, or maybe he's out pre-jury, but Kimo has really been impressing me so far. Now, another thing, actually, as I'm recording this, most people went to bed, but I do see kind of interesting. T-Core is upstairs. Believe she's studying dates with, I don't know what with, but little seeds and stuff like that. Pretty much everybody's asleep but her, so she's up studying. Let's, though, do a little studying of our own. I have made an alliance chart that kind of gives all of the deals and things that are going on right now, things of note that could be mentioned. A lot of them are pretty fake, but at least to give you a bit more familiarity with a lot of the names that are being happening to be thrown around there for different groups. So here we go. It is pretty small, I know, because there's just so much to pack in here. But we can go over and kind of break this all down. Let me move this over here so I can see it a little bit better. You've got the barber shop and the collective over there on the left-hand side. And they're really pretty fake. The barbershop, literally nobody cares about anymore. The girls were even talking about it, and they were like, yeah, if anybody brings it up, it's like, yeah, the guy who created it's gone. Who cares? Collective, again, the only one who I think is really holding on hope for this one is Joseph, so that one's pretty much dead. But there are two names that you're probably going to hear on the episodes or even on the feeds, and you might wonder, like, who's in that group? So there you have that. The core, Triple C, Cam, Chelsea, and Cedric. Those are probably one of the tightest three trios in the game. Underneath them, you got the Visionaries, probably the other big tight trio that we have in the game of Quinn, Kimo, and T-Core. Underneath there, I've even made it a little smaller too than the other three. The Crow Boys, I don't think it's as real as the Visionaries or the Core, but something to keep in mind, those good old Crow Boys. Caw, caw. Quinn, Kimo, and Joseph. Liam and Mackenzie, good old MJ. I've put them off on their own there as a duo. Most of the other duos I have in the corner real small, but I figured that's one that's, important enough to kind of label as its own, being a little duo. You've got the girls alliance in there as well as the Andersons. Both, how real are they? Not really that real, I don't think. More just for like, oh yeah, we're an alliance. Yeah, let's look out for each other, that type of thing. You've got the Pentagon, and then above that, you also have our newest alliance, the 5-person group of Quinn, Kimo, T-Core, Rubina, and Tucker. The Pentagon being Cam, Chelsea, Cedric, Brooklyn, and Quinn. Lisa, Angela, Kenny, no real alliances. There was Angela was in a great spot until she started freaking out on people. Lisa's got, Leia that she's kind of close with. Leah also has Kenny as well. You can see in kind of the notable section over here where we have all the duos. We've also got Rubina and Tucker. I think that's a very strong duo, kind of a secret under the radar duo. Like people know them, but I don't think they realize how hard they're actually gaming and making sure they're in good spots. And I think they're a pair that you got to watch out for because they might start winning competition soon and being able to take over pretty quickly. Cedric and Chelsea, I felt like it was enough notable where I think of the three of the core, Chelsea and Cedric are the duo of that trio. Cam is kind of there, and if they have to cut him at some point, he's the one that would get cut of that trio. T-Core and Kimo, also a very tight duo in there as well. What else do we have there? Joseph and Quinn, Quinn and Leah, Quinn and Cedric, Quinn and Brooklyn. Quinn's in a lot of alliances. If you even look at all of the groups, he's in most of the groups too. So you could even have, I did the joke with Tyler, I think, at one point where I even had Zingbot in there with him. You could do that with Quinn. Quinn you could easily say has a final two with Zingbot. He's got one with Julie. He's got one with Ainsley. He's pretty much got an alliance with almost everybody at this point in the game. But yeah, I feel like this kind of gives you an idea of what the alliances are kind of looking like. But I still feel like the allegiance chart gives you a more clear picture of how things are going and how things could go in the future. Because you can see how some of those groups are still represented in ways on this allegiance chart. And you can see how that 5-person group is really going on to the one side where you have Kimo, T-Core, Tucker, Rubina, and Quinn. You also have Joseph on that side of the house as a potential number. There's talk about bringing Kenny in and over as a potential number to that side as well. Leah as well could go over there. Brooklyn's tight with Quinn, but you can also see there's kind of that top part of the Pentagon who are all kind of near each other and towards the top. And if they do stick together, they do have a lot of control over everybody else in the house. I just don't know if Quinn and Brooklyn will eventually actually see it worth their game to stick with Chelsea, Cam, or Cedric. I think in the long run, they would rather go with people like Kimo, T-Core, Rubina, Tucker, especially Quinn. Brooklyn's why I really have her very much in the middle, because I think she'll go wherever the power goes, right? If she realizes the power's all over there with Quinn, she'll follow him. If she realizes that, you know what, Cam, Cedric, Chelsea, they're winning all the HOHs, I'm going to stick over there with them. Another interesting thing here is you can see over on Chelsea, Cam, Cedric's side, you have Mackenzie, MJ. The problem is they see her as a future target. They don't see her as a future number, which is a problem for them if they take her out or even the other side take her out. That's less numbers for their side, which it's tough because as much as I had said, listen, if you're going to win this HOH as Chelsea, I don't think she should have won this HOH. But I said, if you're going to win this HOH, make it matter, right? Because again, what is she accomplishing with this HOH other than getting out a target that everybody else wants to get out? If she really wanted to make a move in this game, probably would have been her shot would have been to go after people like a Joseph, Tucker, Rubina, Kimo, get those type of people out. Does she see that in the game? And it's a lot easier for us to say it here and now. Sure. But as you can see, if she's really only got on her side potentially MJ. That could be a number. If you're bringing Leah over, potentially a number, but you don't trust them because of their relationship with Cam, you're kind of cutting out your own numbers there, and you're setting up the other house to have a lot more than you. When eventually they win HOH, you could be in trouble. So that is something that I'm seeing happening here. Again, this is Big Brother. Anything could change any day, which is also why I think the allegiance chart is so nice. We can easily move people around to adjust to how the winds of change are blowing inside the house. But let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments down below of everything that happened in the house, what you guys think of our allegiance chart, what you think of our alliance chart. I know they're not exactly the easiest to see blown up, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to post them over on Twitter a little bit later today. I'll have them in the Discord as well. I might even start like a little thread in the Big Brother spoiler section that just has pictures of these of our allegiance chart every week, of the alliance chart every week, so you can easily find them. But thank you guys all so much for watching. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments down below of everything going on. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button. You like this video, hit that like button. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, smash that like button. Hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. There is an episode tonight. We'll see the veto competition take place, probably the veto ceremony. They might leave it as a cliffhanger. Who knows? We also may potentially get some stuff about Lisa and Angela, but they might leave that out as well and just kind of not talk about it. I don't know how. When it's one of the most dominant storylines in the house right now. I'm sure there's some things they can kind of throw in there to make it obvious that the two are not getting along. So we'll see how that plays out. But other than that, thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you next time.
A narwhal?
A dolphin.
Dolphin!
Yeah.